this well-founded cause. Naturally, I want to make this speech have an impact on all of you. What I decided is my speech would need substance, and not just blunt facts. People are very similar in this way that we usually have common goals of financial success or stability in life. We usually all seem to fit into a certain range of statistics or blunt facts that tell us who we can be expected to be and how we can be expected to act. However, it's our emotions, experiences, and passions that make us more than a number. These things give us substance and make our lives like a well-written speech. Unfortunately, cancer has the ability to take all that away. A person feels they are no longer themselves. They can feel that they are no longer defined by a love history or as a Chicago Cubs fan. They become a statistic, a number. My statistic was that I was the 19th person to ever got a Ewing sarcoma located in my finger for primary location. I felt that was all that I was, and my substance in my life had vanished. Of course, this was not true. I was still myself, and all the meaning in my life had just remained unseen for a period of time. I couldn't find it because cancer had overtaken it, and it was infiltrating my defenses, not only physically, but emotionally as well. Taking what it had no right to take. Cancer was a burglar who came in and snatched my meaning in life. But with the help of 1 million friends and the love of family and friends, I found myself in a completely new way. And now I will share my story of how Ewing sarcoma tried to take over me, but how I was empowered by the support of others and took it back what was right in my life. I grew up with a pretty normal life. I had parents to keep me in line, siblings to get on my nerves, friends to laugh with and play sports with, school to bore me or educate me or something, work to keep me busy. Overall, I shaped up to be a pretty average teenager who just wanted to have fun and maybe in the far future go to college. This all started to change shape the summer of 2013, when I noticed a small lump on my finger. At first, I thought, no biggie. Maybe it was just from when I extended my finger earlier that summer playing basketball. As the next year went by, the lump continued to grow bigger, along with my concern. My life was slowly consumed by this thing that was completely out of my control. So I decided to get rid of it. I finally had it removed in July 2014. After I got it removed, I breathed a sigh of relief as the doctor assured me that it was most likely no more than a cyst. 1 month later in August, as my words had just about slipped my mind altogether, my family gets a phone call saying there's Ewing sarcoma. That's when my life was flipped upside down. When my parents told me, I was thrown into a total state of shock. It was too surreal for me to believe. As I am a Christian, I started to pray, not even knowing what to pray for. I was losing myself and my connections with everything that helped me be stable. I didn't even know what cancer treatment was, other than you lose your hair and you get really sick. When I had to go to the hospital for numerous scans and checkups, I learned that my tumor was only in my finger. The typical aggressive form of cancer I had, and as long as I had it in my finger, I was certainly fortunate, as the damage could have been much worse. With this, I knew God had performed a miracle in my life. Starting my treatments was not something I was prepared for. My friends, girlfriend, family, and God were by my side taking me through this trial. They were just beginning though, and I had no idea what lay in store for the time ahead. As I was faced with various troubles and scares, after my first treatment I became neutropenic and had to be brought back to the hospital. Chemotherapy was truly a battle for my life and left me exhausted yoga every day. I tried to do as many activities as I could, but I still missed out on a lot. Around November, my doctor said, "Well, Tony, you need to meet with the radiologist and the bone doctor to consider amputation or radiation, because you still have residual mass left over from your surgery in July." So at the age of 17, I had to make the biggest decision of my life. With prayer and listening to the doctors, I decided to go through with the amputation. I had to take a month off chemotherapy because of the surgery. Before the age of 18, I was down to 9 fingers and had been diagnosed with cancer. When I started my treatments back up after the surgery, I would get really tired and my treatments would get pushed back from my blood levels being so low. I would have to get blood transfusions almost every time before my treatments. Just because I'm now done with my treatments doesn't mean that's the end of my worries. I have scans every 3 months. It seems just as I finish my scans, there's another one right around the corner. Whenever those scans come around, I get a knot in my stomach. It doesn't go away until I hear the news that I'm all clear. Cancer is not something that's ever good. But I've been blessed by a lot of people's generosity along the way, and I'm grateful for that. When I started to witness the generosity, I decided it wasn't going to end there. I plan to keep the generosity flowing for me to other cancer patients, in hopes they will be inspired to give back in some way as well. Thank you.